Hey guys. Hey. This is like take 10. This video that I'm making right now, this is like take 10. What I'm realizing is that this conversation is so broad. This message that I'm trying to do is so broad. Like it's hitting so many points that I'm like, it's really hard to articulate. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's hard to articulate. I was thinking of doing a live, but I don't even want to do the live because I'm like, doing this in real time, the way my train of thought is going, I will be stumbling on my words. I will be focusing on political correctness that I cannot even relax and even deliver this damn message. And no, I'm not at gunpoint to do this, but it's just I felt so urged to do this. I felt in the pit of my stomach. I had this whole epiphany moment and just like confirmation, like, yo, this life that we're living is not what it seems. It's not what it seems. It's not what we were told. It's not what we were like taught, through the education system or whatever for it to be. It's not. It's not. It's not what we're taught low key in religion, at church or whatever. How we're saying it and wrapping things in a bow and just selling and talking about. It's not. It's not. When I say that, I'm just saying like I've taken a long and still time alone processing and having literally conversations with myself, conversations with God, and journaling all of these emotions, all of these realizations and observations. Guys, it's not what it is. But to reel it back, I didn't want to do it live because I'm too fixated on how I'm gonna sound. I'm too fixated on the unknown judgment I might receive or whatever conversation that may come out of this. Okay, because literally this is stemming back on my comment that I made yesterday on 19 Keys post that now is a day, making it a day. So when he posted it, and it was like around like 10 o'clock when I watched the video, I just made a comment. So 19 Keys, I follow him on Instagram. Very intelligent person, very brilliant. A lot of things that he says I resonate with, especially the things that has to do with self-awareness, spiritual awareness, entrepreneurship. Love it. He's very pro cryptocurrency. He's good at it. He learned it. He has a lot of a good following. Very knowledgeable of that realm. Me, I have no clue about cryptocurrency. I have no clue about stocks, Forex, none of those digital entities. I don't know nothing about it. So yeah, in some ways I'm very ignorant in having this conversation, but this conversation is not really stemmed on those things. It's more so on with the advancement of technology that we're experiencing right now. Although yes, it could be used for good, it can be used to make life easier and help. But however, just dealing with human beings, dealing with the government, it's gonna make a lot of people's lives harder. It's gonna make the crimes rate go up. It's gonna make the mental health issue go up because we're tired. We as a people, as human beings, when I say this, I'm saying this generally. I'm saying this very generally, because in conversations with family members, friends, strangers, honey, the most common denominator, honey, people are tired. When you ask them, how's their day? It's going. I'm tired. I remember, especially in college, everyone said, oh, I'm tired. Because, we're studying, we're doing whatever, X, Y, and Z. Okay, we're getting a degree to get a job, to make money, right? To be able to afford basic necessities and then luxury stuff. But anyways, we're tired. Our health is not in the best shape. Okay? I'm not sure what's going on outside of the US. I'm not sure. I'm not there. I'm here. It's noisy here. This is loud. There's a lot of inventions. There's a lot of innovation. There's a lot of technology, AI. They're rolling out a whole lot of things. And it's my fault to be jumping in, reading the news and staying too long on social media, seeing the news. Nothing's wrong with the news. Okay? but some of the news don't seem that neutral. It seems like it has an agenda attached to it. It's pushing one narrative when if you use your critical thinking, your brain, yeah, what is being pushed is not all there is. Okay, before I even get into that. But anyways, jumping back into 19 Keys post, it was actually about him just doing a reactional like video. He didn't really say anything. He put in his post what he's trying to say. But the news was pretty much saying how there's a partial, not a full ban, but it's a partial ban on using TikTok. And also VPN usage. With the VPN usage, people use it so that they're not being tracked, or, you know, the government does not know what IP, you know, address they're, you know, using to. People use VPNs, for like watching movies. I can watch what's going on in the UK by using a VPN to block my location. Pretty much my location. It's monitoring where we're at and what we're using and what we're doing on the internet. So it's going to affect cryptocurrency users, right? It's a regulation that the government is rolling out to restrict certain things for the cryptocurrency because it can get out of hand easily. So the things about restrictions, but clearly it might be another way that people who are using cryptocurrency now and doing all this digital NFTs and all this kind of stuff, they might be limited, which is gonna affect their how much money they're making currently. Anywhoosies, you know, his comment was pretty much saying banning TikTok is a smoke for government power to usher in the new world order. VPN control takes away the power for anyone to own cryptocurrency. Now, why would they want to do that? And he's advertising his, it's called the Highest Level Tour. You know, I'm not sure if he trademarked it. But he's, you know, for the highest level conversations or whatever. And no, it's really great. Like, I follow him for a reason. I follow him because he's very self-aware. He's very intelligent, very brilliant. The conversations he's having is not the typical, it's not the basic podcasting crap that we hear now. Ooh, what does she bring to the table? Dating. Talking about this dumb, superficial crap. He's not talking about this stuff. He's talking about some real stuff pertaining to self-awareness and pertaining to like spiritual awareness and entrepreneurship. Those are the things I resonate with the most. But when it comes to particularly the cryptocurrency stuff that, you know, he's really about, hey, y'all, the world is pushing this way. Let's jump on the wave. Let's learn how to master it so we can gain money to help our communities in simple terms. So, okay, whatever. I'm going to tackle to what triggered me. What triggered me to even make this post was, hopefully my phone is not gonna die. Let me plug it. What triggered me to even make a comment, because usually, do I be in people's DMs or comments? I'm very opinionated. If you don't know me now, for people who don't know me, or people who know me, you should know by now, I'm really opinionated. I'm a Gemini. So yeah, I'm very opinionated. I love learning new things, and I love providing, you know, not unwanted, but just like my 2 cents. I drop my 2 cents, and I love conversing with people online. You know, it's fun. It's cool. I like to know what people think and just have a conversation about stuff. So anyways, so yeah, I often do jump into the comments, but today or yesterday was a very out there like moment. I actually dropped a whole paragraph. I don't do paragraphs now. If I do paragraphs, it's gonna be on my page, my own Instagram, like my own post. But I'm like, no, my body was very irritated just on the constant news of AI rolling out, the news of cryptocurrency and all this new waves. Hop on, we're ripping the rug. What you used to know and you're getting what you got used to is no more. Let's hop into the next thing and the next thing. And in my brain, just seeing everything and just hearing everything is running us rugged. We're already rugged. Our mental health is already a hot mess. We're dressing up, going out, doing, you know, to parties or whatever, and distracting ourselves even more to not feel the heat of the chaos. that we're in, where our mindset is at, where our value, our self-value is in disarray. When I say this, I'm generalizing because I'm saying we. I'm also speaking me. I'm including myself here. Me, society. It's you, I, me, we. That's everything. I don't exclude myself from society when I say it. I feel a lot of people say society did this and society. No, you, me, we're society. We form society. At some point, we become a majority if we all agree on the same things, and then it pushes the direction where the world is going, right? So what was I saying before this? Ugh, I hate when I lose my train of thought. Anywhoosies, my reply to his comment was this. The real currency isn't the crypto. It isn't the dollar. Those things are ever changing. We humans, the majority, created value into these entities. It was first the livestock, minerals, parentheses, gold and silver, and probably other things, paper money, and now digital currency. All backed by nothing really, just selective value. Even if the upcoming crypto surge becomes exclusive, now controlled by the government or these other entities that done caught on to it beforehand, before we got into it. So now they control it and they're not creating the laws for it. To divide or oppress the people, we should not be alarmed. When I say that, I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to whoever else someone mentioned me. I'm talking to whoever else is who gets anxiety from looking at the news in general. Okay? We should not be alarmed. What life is showing us is that technology, which is thought to make life easier, is actually making us lazy and losing the basic fundamentals of working with our hands and being self-sufficient. I should have added there, not necessarily the lazy part either, that it is too, we're relying heavily on the corporations, relying heavily on government. Save us, help us. Produce the whatever, the food, the drinks. If Walmart shut down and don't have water, honey, we're going to be scratching and itching and tearing our hair from the freaking scalp and tearing our shirt. We're going to be, oh my goodness, and going crazy. As if we don't have a backyard to start making our own food. Whatever. I'm not going to get on the tangent yet. Let me finish my post. LOL. Oh, okay. We need to go back to farming, the shoemaking, clothes making, and other essential work. When there's a food shortage, crypto cannot grow food in our backyards to feed you. It takes one hacker to shut the digital world down with all the crypto threats that already exist. We need to go back to the basics. Relying on the digital world and not focusing on developing a tangible skill is a mistake. A big one. Okay? Yes, I do acknowledge I'm very ignorant in what cryptocurrency is all about, what the NFT was all about, what stocks currently is all about. Okay? But in layman's terms, I'm telling you, I'm learning to just rely on speaking generally, speaking in layman's terms so I can understand the big picture. All the extra detail, it really doesn't matter. If we could zoom out, I'm gonna use this term a lot. When we zoom out with a magnifying glass or without the magnifying glass and just see the big picture, we look and we're just like, okay, this cryptocurrency ain't no different than the dollar. This ain't the dollar. It's becoming a whole national security situation to where, oh wow, we can't account for all this printed money. We can't account for all this scams that's already existing, right? They're thinking this cryptocurrency is backed by the digital. It's gonna be safer. It's gonna be more trackable. No, it's not. Dealing with humans already, we're corrupt. Okay? Corruption exists because we humans exist. There's gonna be a scammer in every pocket. There's gonna be a loophole in everything we create, guys. There's gonna be someone who is deprived and thirsty and hungry and view money in a very toxic way that a lot of us view it, and it's making our integrity go out the door. They're itching to gain money, this thing that we're placing value. this thing that the majority of us is placing value in. We created it and we placed value in it, and we're all doing it. We created a system in which we do things. And it's totally fine. Nothing is wrong with money. I'm not saying that I'm anti-money and let's go back to the farming and trade the cows and the goats. And I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that we co-sign this system that we're living in right now. I know we like to say powers that be. I know we like to use throw words and say the matrix and the no. We, the people, are responsible for what is going on in this world right now. The fuck ups, the poverty, the crime. We, the people. That's what I'm saying. What was the other point I was trying to make? Nothing's wrong with money. I understand it's motivating us. We put values on things to motivate us to do things. I know that. And nothing's wrong with AI either. You know, artificial intelligence and robots and technology. Nothing's wrong with that. It's just that it becomes toxic when humans are involved. There's someone who thinks and sit down and they're like, what is a way we could oppress the people? What is a way that everyone's not going to experience this value? What is a way for some people to be up here and some people going to be down here? What is a way some people can get ahead and some people will fall behind and they're still feeling behind? With this current currency that we got already, the paper money, and whatever's going on with the banks or whatever, or stocks that already exist right now. People are already feeling behind. They're working to the grave, experiencing like they're not having enough sleep. They're not eating healthy. They're not focused on what they're eating. They're not focusing on what they're doing mentally and how their mind is processing the day to day, the life, you know, doing its thing. They're not processing. They're on the go. We're on constant go. We wake up. We're on go on the social media to see what we need to be doing. We're on go to spend up to 16 hours, 8 to 16 hours, the majority of us, 8 to 16 hours a day working to gain money to do what with it? To buy basic necessities first. Okay, we're not, the vacation and all that comes later, but we're working to earn money that we made up in our minds, you know, the value that we all agreed about. Some of us agreed, the majority of us agreed, right? Of generations until this now point, we agreed to work for money to earn, to buy basic necessities that grows from the ground, essentially, for us to eat and drink. That's eating and the drinking is all fuels and energies for us to live. Am I making sense? Okay, so let me reel it back. So when I say this conversation is triggering, all I'm saying is hopping onto another system or value system, which is no different than the old system, which is now the paper money. And there's no difference. Can someone prove me different? Please. What I'm saying in layman's terms, can someone tell me different? I don't care to hear all the dictionary and the longer words, the longer complex words. I don't care to hear it. I will later if someone can talk in layman's terms and just explain everything. But all I'm seeing, just jumping out and seeing the big picture, we're hopping onto another shit to do the same shit, which is trading. Digital trading or paper money trading, honey, we're doing the same thing. But whatever. Why I was triggering is, honey, we got people, the homeless population is already increased and increasing as we speak. Okay? Each time I'm riding around this metroplex to go to work, honey, I'm seeing people in tents, on the bridges, all because they don't have funds, this thing that we call money, this thing that we put value in. They don't have those things. So that therefore they're not going to see the shelter. They're not going to have the food. They're not going to have the drinks and the water to help them fuel their energy so they can live and try to live out their purpose in this world. Because mind you, it is not the money. I'll get into that later. It's not this thing that we created. It's really not. But yeah, this is triggering because it's like a lot of us is lacking in mental health and lacking access to do certain things, to have family time, to have quiet time with ourselves, because we're trying to chase the bag. We hear it in the music already. Ugh, it's like this. When I hear any music pertaining to chasing the bag, and yeah, it's like yuck. Move to the side. I don't want to hear it. It's getting to the point where like it's irritating me because I'm currently at a state of mind to where I'm actually healing. This with therapy, with journaling, praying to my God, my Father, who's shown me the light that this world that we're living in, this life that we're living in, we're doing it backwards. We're doing it not as intended, if that makes sense. And I'll get into that later. But yeah, that's why it's triggering. There's people who can't have access to healthcare, the supposed vaccines and the cures, because they don't got insurance, and all that is backed by the money and the value that we, the people, the majority, put the value in, and we said it to be so, so it is so. That's the annoying part. The world is noisy and it's loud. We're having so much innovation, so much technology being pumped out, so much news, so much apps. There's so much, everything is such, what's the word? There's so much things to have to process as a human being. It's so much information. There's so much new wave, new invention, new app, new way of living and value system. It's too much. It's too much. So it was a triggering thing. It is triggered in my system to where I'm gonna jump into comments. I'm gonna leave this. When I tell you my phone was blowing up today, and is it midnight right now? Okay, it's not midnight yet. My phone was blowing up. Guess why? The number of likes that's on is what right now is 463. Because it resonated. I'm pretty sure what my comment resonated with some folks. Because I know it. We're tired. The world is noisy. We're tired. We don't want to jump through the hoops. We don't want to do the 7 streams of income. We don't want it. It's stupid. It's noisy. It's dumb. It's chaotic. It's never ending. We thought the technology is getting easier, but it's making things harder. We're jumping through more hoops. When people finally, some people, not me, but some people finally learned how to do stocks. You know, they had to read a lot of books. Who knows? They found people they could trust to put their money, give their money to, so they could put it in the stocks and do it for them. Whatever. People who finally got used to the Forex trading. LOL. Let me tell you a little story. I try to do it. And when I tell you, I literally, in the DFW area, this one guy, he has this little group. He teaches people how to do this Forex trading. He is a part of some company, I forgot the name of it, that does this kind of recruiting thing to where he recruits people and many people, and it trickles down, whatever. I joined one of the groups. When I tell you, my brain was just on fire. At the time, where was I working? I was probably working at David's Bridal at that time. You know, but I was just trying to figure out new ways to make money. Yeah. They say do 3 streams of income, and then it jumped all the way to the 7. And I'm like, okay, what can I do? Because real estate, okay, whatever. I don't have the brain right now to do that. Don't have the funds to do that, definitely. Because at the time, I was actually mismanaging my money. But before I even get there, whatever. I'm like, what is a way for me to make more money? So yeah, I forgot who introduced me to the Forex trading, but I think I just DM'd the person and they were like, okay, we're gonna put you in, you know, do the payment and do this other things. You know, I have to pay, download these apps to be, what is it, Hugo's Way? I forgot, my brain doesn't even want to go there, it's whatever. Jump through all these hoops to finally land into this group message so that they can teach us how to do this Forex trading. When I tell you, my ears didn't want to hear a thing. My brain, they're saying, let's calculate PIP, they call it PIP points, the candle wicks, and the chart to know when is a good time in the market to buy or sell, to jump in or jump out. This is the London time, this is the Tokyo time, this is the whatever the fucking time. to hop in the market and jump out the market and the sessions and the. When I tell you, I didn't have high blood pressure. I'm not trying to claim it, but the feeling, the exaggerated feeling and figurative language I'm trying to say is, if I didn't have high blood pressure, I had it then. Everything, my whole heart was just racing. I'm like, what? I want to tell you, it's like an echo chamber of people just talking. Yeah, I did it. It worked for me. I made 30 here. I did this. I did. You feel like you're in a freaking, I'm in a freaking casino. This is how I felt. We gambling something. This is all I know. In layman's terms, just zooming out. We put in something into something. Forex trading to me, when the person was sort of explaining it, I'm saying it in layman's terms. When one person decided, somebody invented something and said, hey, we could put money here. You could put money here and here. You buy into it. We get our money out, so we sell it. Boom, 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 boom. It's a trade. A trade is going on. In and out at certain time zones. This person right here gonna have 1,000. This one's gonna lose 500. This one's gonna lose it depending on what time they entered into the market and left the market. That's, in layman's terms, that's what's happening. It's like a cesspool of money. It's rotating. Similar to insurance. For insurance, for anyone to be backed by anything, is being backed by the money we put in and remove. So we get in a car crash, okay, we're gonna take the money out, so we're gonna pay for the car crash. But then you're gonna make your monthly payments so the money's gonna be replenished. That's all it is. That's all it is. However, it becomes a gamble though, in doing any stock, any forex trading. It becomes a gamble because, honey, you need to make sure you're looking at the charts. But then things are being backed by human emotions, and we have certain news that comes out and say, let's, for instance, Adidas, we drop a Kanye with the shoemaking and the clothes and apparel, whatever. We're dropping him. So people are going to say, oh, Kanye's out. Okay, I'm going to take my money out, and take the money out. All at once. And then you see, things are going to be crashing and doing, it's whatever terms y'all want to use. So it's heightened by human emotion and human participation. Another made up thing we did. So not only the money is made up that we put into, that, we have digitally, due to our earnings, we put into this cloud of things, and we put money into it and we take money out. That's all it is. So another made up entity, a made up something that we're trading. Again, we're trading funds, we're trading digital things, digital counts, money, currency, whatever, in counts, value. But we're all doing this in the name of having basic necessities, right? And then also living a luxurious life, taking trips, seeing the world, having access and the right, I guess you want to say, to access certain buildings, recreational things, clothing, all this stuff with money. Okay. So, I don't know about y'all, but yeah, I know we're tired. We are tired, I can say it generally speaking. Yeah, we're tired. The world is noisy. A lot of us is pressed for the money. A lot of us can't have a conversation without talking about money or the lack thereof. Chasing the bag. It's all in the music. It's all in our posts. It's all in what we post. The clothing. It makes us feel better about life. It makes us feel better about ourselves because we don't know ourselves. Because we don't spend time with ourselves. Okay? We don't even do the self-care. We can't have, because we don't have the time to do the self-care. Because we're working doubles. We're working triples. We're entrepreneurs working probably quadruples. Like, we don't have time for ourselves. We don't have time to even connect with our Father God who created us. We don't have time to talk to our Creator, to tell us what He intended life to be, to tell us and guide us to what we need to be focusing on. That is where I'm at with it. That is where I'm at with it. Oh my goodness. I was like, we have not even sat down and thought to ourselves. I'm a human being that was created by a creator. So obviously, the creator, I need to be in tune and not distracted with all these other things that we're creating as humans. I need to be quiet enough and not as distracted and tied to the freaking work and the money, to actually having conversation with conversation and connection with my creator, so he can give me the tools and the blueprint to what he intended his life to be, for what I should be doing, for what position I should be taking, for what moves I should be making on this earth, this temporary earth that we're living in. One second. Yeah, people like. I'm looking at people. They're looking at the comments. They like the comments. Sorry, I'm looking at my computer right now. People are. What I'm saying is resonating, because I think we're tired, and we're not having enough conversations about this that I'm saying right now. No, really, we're not having enough conversations because we're distracted. This conversation gave me so much anxiety this morning when I woke up. This conversation is so like, it requires a lot of energy. I'm drinking so much water right now. It's taken a lot of brain power than me just, lollygagging and doing brunch with my friends and just doing whatever and talking about stupid shit like, what does a man bring to the table, and woo, fuck this nigga, dude, just talking to shit, stupid, endless, dumb shit. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm tired. It takes a lot of brain power to get the wheels running up in here. To really think, is this life that we're living all that it is? No, it's not. So why I say it's not? I'm sitting back here. I'm sitting because I thought I was gonna use my dry erase board, but I don't think I am. Let's get into the tea. So, yeah, the thought, why the conversation of money makes me sick, or anything having to do with currency makes me sick, is because I see the toxic mindset we have towards it. Something that was meant to keep us organized, to keep us motivated to do things and work and earn a living and feel happy and successful and whatever. I see the toxic side of everything. I see that people's mental health sucks so bad that they want to commit suicide because they're not making enough. That them coming out of college, they have a crisis because they didn't get the job. They didn't get hired on. From doing all the internships and everything that they did not get hired to the position that they wanted to get, to the money they wanted to make. We're feeling unnecessarily inadequate and very behind compared to whoever, compared to the many people in the cesspool of social media. We have all these expectations on where we thought we should be and all this kind of stuff. So it's so outside. It's sitting outside of what, God may have intended us to be experiencing right now. A lot of our wants is based on things that we, the majority, all came into agreements and constantly communicating on social media that it is, right? Let's book a flight, let's do this, let's do that, let's buy this, let's wear this and that. It's a endless conversation, it's an endless desire and searching and to obtain things outside of basic necessity, right? So basically, to date back to when I had a thought to have this conversation and have this message, it didn't stir up until COVID. COVID, we all had times on our hands to be by ourselves. Some of that struck a huge nerve to where we started having mental things, anxiety, depression was very heavy on us. Okay, not only because of the fact of people dying and there's news projecting certain things of this many people dying from COVID and all that kind of stuff. It was a lot. It's triggering. We see how the basic necessities like food, water, and all that stuff is very important. we call it essential work. We call it essential. We call it basic necessities, and then the people that produce it and help distribute it, the essential workers. We start understanding what is very important in this life and what is not important. The fashion, the clothes, those things are not important. Okay? What's important is our family. It's community. It's not individualism. It's not saying fuck this, fuck that, I'm this, I'm the boss, I'm better than you, the haters gonna hate. It's not all that stupid ass rhetoric that we talk about now and we hear in music. When I'm really, when I keep on mentioning music, it's because music is to break it down, is, instrumentals, but also words. And words have meaning to things. Words drive us and fuels things. It motivates us. It can tear us down. It can build us up. It can do a lot of things. So when I say music, when I revert a lot of things into music, it's because that's another stream of communication and influence. So yeah, the COVID and the whole pandemic and the shutdown gave me enough time to sit down and think. Mid-COVID, when things were opening up, whatever, I decided to start my business at a physical location, I decided to leave David's Bridal and all that kind of stuff. And in hopes of making more money and just living for me and just being the entrepreneur that I know is deep down inside of me, I took a leap to do something that I ended up not having enough money to be doing to begin with, and still did not practice the proper money management in doing so. So in a whole 8 months time, I ended up shutting down my business, which sent me in another level of anxiety and depression. So much so to where I had enough time to journal. And a lot of my upset was due to not necessarily the business, me shutting down that physical location that I could not afford to begin with. It was due to maybe I'm tying entrepreneurship to maybe gaining some type of financial freedom. Maybe I felt behind by me taking such a creative, because it can be considered as essential work, but this career path of fashion design, producing clothes, being a tailor for suits and special occasion wear, which is important, but it wasn't as important when COVID was hitting. People didn't care to have things fitted to their body and all that kind of stuff. And at the time, I wasn't creating custom designs like clothing for people to buy. That is even rendered essential for people to buy. But anyways, but yeah, to gain financial freedom, that's in the back of my mind. To gain this, I didn't have an amount that I wanted to make. I had a business plan, but I just didn't have an amount that I wanted to make. Just enough to pay my bills, which I knew the figures of that and all that kind of stuff. But it's just, I don't know. I just thought being an entrepreneur can lead to financial freedom. And that's what we're all striving for. That's, we want to be able to afford things, to get our parents out of debt. If we come from a family that, have a whole lot of debt, our parents do not have retirement. They got a lot of debt from student loans and all this other stuff, right? It was my mission to gain, I was 26 at the time when I started my business, at the physical location, because mind you, I had my business already going from home. And when I did work at David's Bridal, I had income, but I was mismanagement money and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, part of my upset was, oh wow, dang, I'm not going to be able to have this access to this financial freedom or accomplish this to get to a point or propel me into a space to where I can see and taste financial freedom. So I can do this for my parents and give back and be generous all of a sudden with my money and help the homeless and, do all this stuff. Take trips, see the world, see this beautiful earth that God has created. Okay? To have the tangible funds to hop on a flight, to have access to a flight, to have access to now enter another country, to see this beautiful nature that God has created, to see all the other people on the other side of the world. US is not all there is. There's other life, there's other people to be seen and heard, other languages to hear and music to hear and all that kind of stuff. I want to experience all that, right? But I'm so tied down and I feel limited by the amount of money or the amount of money I have in my bank account, or lack thereof access that I have to money, whatever. So going through that depression state, like depressive state, was a lot. It got to the point to where I was very pessimistic, or is it pessimistic? Mm-hmm. Very negative. My outlook on the world and things, very negative. You know, COVID has lifted at that time, and we can go back to work, or not back to work. We can, you know, carry on. At the time, I think I owed 2 months rent, had, you know, a good amount of credit card debt. My credit score was dwindling, but it still remained in a good spot, but still it was dwindling, and you know, I have value in those things, so it was affecting me. I felt behind. I had friends who, you know, majority of my friends are in the in healthcare, so they have a job to go to. I chose to leave the job. I have so much pride that I ain't gonna return to the job. So yeah, I was out of work for a good 3 months. Not working. Actually playing Grand Theft Auto, which I really enjoyed. It was very therapeutic. I loved it. It was fun. It was fun doing a lot of the free roam things, and then actually participating and doing the missions, which was so much fun. I finally got the hang of it, and I love it. I actually thought of playing it back again if I ever have time, which now is a big distraction in itself, but I was thinking of playing it back again and choosing different like options, choosing different characters, and like, you know, at the end of close to the end of the game being done, you know, you can choose a different route. Like, okay, I think I chose Trevor or what's that one guy? Franklin. I forgot what I did at the end, what choices I picked. But anyways, with how the story goes, it will have a different outcome. I wanted to see that outcome, but whatever. But anyways, I was in a very, I don't want to be here kind of thing. Yes, I had suicidal thoughts. I'm like, Lord, is this what you intended life to be? Is this what you intended life to be? For us to work ourselves to the mother freaking grave. To feel so emotional. To be experiencing this crazy amount of mental health crisis. Is this what you intended life to be? For us to be led by the nose and pulled and yanked every which way because of the money. To want to be doing risque stuff for the money. To want to be envious of other folks because they have money. To want to be doing some fraudulent shit for the money. To be lying on my resume for the money. To be losing my integrity and morals for the money. For those who steal. To be stealing, have the guts to steal and snatch someone's purse for the money. To hold someone at gunpoint for the money. Because I get it, you know, we want the money to be able to afford basic necessities and shelter. Because I get it, the cost of living is going up. Okay? The cost of living is going up. But we're doing a lot of things, questionable things. We are making a lot of excuses for why we're doing certain things, all for the money. Our health is dwindling because of the money. Where, you know, do y'all understand? And I can get into that, you know, later, but I just want to hop it into this point. Do y'all understand? It's advised for us to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep so our body can heal. Research it right now. Our body heals when we're asleep. Okay? We're less irritable when we have enough sleep. Okay? We're less sick and our body can function how it needs to properly when we have enough sleep. It also functions better when we have enough nutrition, when we are drinking enough water, when we are able to eat enough and eat good things, right? How can we do that when we're at work and we don't have a 30-minute break? So most of us are barely eating. We're only snacking on small things, and most of the time it is junk. Barely digesting our foods, which is further damaging our health. A lot of people that I see and witness, honey, I might be the only person who actually eats a proper meal and eats a proper snack. And I carry a big ass lunch bag, like a big bag that has 2 lunch, my cute little leopard print lunch bags full of juices, natural fruit juices that I make, full of nice, healthy snacks to be eating. I'm the one who brings it and occupy the whole employee fridge with my food. People are barely eating. People barely have time to drink water. I observe people. Just go to work. When you go to work or go whatever, with your friends or whatever, watch. People are probably only drinking 1 16-ounce or 8-ounce bottle of water a day. Or at least for the 10 hours we're at work. No wonder our health sucks. No wonder COVID came and wiped whoever out. Our health is trash. Let alone the food we're eating already. We're dehydrated. Your lips are dry, your hands are dry because your body's dehydrated, honey. I'm talking to myself. Before I did this health program that I did, this detox that I did, that you guys can see on my y'all can see it on my my Instagram page. I posted it probably 2 Saturdays ago. But yeah, I took this whole detox journey because I just knew it in the pit of my stomach, which I kind of went forward. I'll go back to explain why I jumped on it. But you'll see it when you watch the video. I had no clue that by me paying attention to myself and what is going in and out of my mouth, and me drinking enough fluids and taking enough calories that fuels our body to work properly so we can think, have good emotions, or process our emotions. To process our emotions, okay? Is due to what we're doing. Everything is connected to what we're doing. The life we're experiencing right now is connected to what we're doing, what we are paying attention to, and what's priority. It cannot be about the money because it's doing nothing for us. We're rotting away. The best figurative like imagery or whatever that describe what we're experiencing right now, and some of us in this rat race is experiencing, is literally, I wish I saved it. I don't know if I saved it because literally sometimes I remove, due to my phone not having enough storage, I remove a lot of the stuff and put in my laptop, so I don't know if I can find it. But literally it was a trending meme or trending, like, they call it GIF or GIF. I don't know how to pronounce it. The GIF videos or whatever on like Instagram. Of this person running, I think it's a man, running. It's like an all black thing. It's like they used a video game, animated whatever site, and they created that little, was it 10-second clip? Someone running. I'm not sure if they're on a treadmill or a hamster wheel. I'm not sure. But there's something attached from the back, like a fishing rod or whatever, with the money dwindling like this. And was running, chasing the bag. That's the imagery. Chasing the bag, and the person is deteriorating into a skeleton bone and hop into a grave. That is literally us. Whoever is here, I'm chasing the bag, posting pictures, chasing the bag, got the new position, because it's about the bag. It's not even about my desires. It's not about the gift that God has deposited within me to be doing. Regardless of the money that you're making. It's not that. It's whatever it is, it has a lot of dollar signs attached to it. Securing the bag. We're doing it at a fast-ass rate. And to be landing to the grave. Because guess what? Our health is getting to the grave. Our health is out of whack. We're not paying attention to our health. We're not doing the self-care. We're not connected to our creator. We're not in communication and receiving any type of guidance. We're not processing our body, our spirit. It's not processing what we're doing and experiencing right now. We're landing in the grave. That's where we're headed. I know that's where we're headed already. That's inevitable. But either we're getting there quicker, or we're like not experiencing life as we should, as intended by our creator. We're not living in our purpose or doing the many callings that we're called to do because we're chasing the bag. Mind you, the money and the value that we created and all co-signs, us being the majority, society, us, you, me, we, whatever, co-signed it, and that's what we're living by. But anyways, so hopping back to the depression, hopping back to me not wanting to be here no more. I'm like, oh, Lord, this is what we bargained for. This is what we came to the world for and to exist for. I don't want no parts. I don't. It's noisy. My heart is racing. I have anxiety. I'm experiencing IBS symptoms. This is ridiculous. I don't want any parts. I'm having not trying to get too much of that information, but we're having whole arguments with family, friends about money and lack thereof. It's tiring. I'm not enjoying the family that I have because we're talking about money. I'm not enjoying the friendships that I have because we're talking about money. That's what's driving the conversation. We have no depth to us, it seems like. I don't know your personality because we're all chasing the bag. But anywhoosies, when I finally got to the point to where I'm like, well, I'm clearly not about it. Like, I still want to live this life on this earth and see what it's all about, to see what's unfolding. Because now, from my understanding, life is not what we're being programmed or educated about or told, or like, we're not being told by verbatim or in words. We see it in films, we see it in movies, we hear it in music. We're perpetuating this expectation on how life should be, but it's not what it is. So anywhoosies, I got into a deep pit to where I was like, okay, it's time to quiet out the noise. It's time to connect to my God, my creator, and receive some guidance on how to navigate what I'm experiencing right now. So basically, I went to my local church and said, hey, y'all have free counseling? Oh yeah, you do? You do? Okay, sign me up. I did a whole 4-week counseling. It was just only once a week. But I had homework on things I need to work on, to do the journaling, do all the stuff. And when I tell you, it was the most needed thing. I'm telling you, God works in awesome ways. All I have to do is call out to him, and he's going to redirect our path. So I went on a tangent. This is what has led me here and has stirred up this message that started then till now. This is what did it. So to the spiritual counseling, they recommended this book called The Purpose Driven Life Book. This is no ad. This is no cap. I'm not exaggerating. This book did boop to my brain. It opened my brain up to say, hey, also another reminder, this life that we live, honey, is temporary. It's not all about this stuff that we're chasing it and having this stack piled list of priorities to do. It ain't none of that. But I'm gonna let y'all read the book and look at the synopsis and all that kind of stuff. But that book further propelled me in doing some search for myself to understand this life that we're living in. I want to know. I don't know my purpose. The person that I thought I knew who I am and all my identity that I have it tied to all these things, and me going to school to do fashion design, and now I'm a tailor, I'm a seamstress. That's what I kind of usually introduce myself as when people ask, what do you do? What do you do? I say that. I need to find who I am, because I know I'm not my job. I'm not my position. I'm not necessarily all the roles and hats that titles I'm given, being a daughter, being a sister, being a sibling, and whatever. We're not merely these things. Anyways, to help me understand this, I started to jot down things. So not only was I doing the journaling, not only was I going to a spiritual counseling. This is back when? Was this last year? About last year or a year and a half or whatever. This is what I did. I sat down in my room. Because honey, I had times on my hand. I had time on my hands being unemployed and all, But I encourage that you guys can do this on your free time. My brain went ham. You're seeing this right now. It's folded. my brain went ham and went to the nearest Dollar Tree and bought up some Sharpies, got some pens. I'm gonna write out my thoughts. And this title of the poster is this: My Understanding of God, Life, Purpose, and Humanity. I went from my understanding of religion, my understanding of the Trinity, because, I subscribe to, being a follower of Christ. That's under the umbrella of Christianity. Maybe not so the culture of what it is today and all some of the manipulation and corruption that comes with it, because it's, it's involving humans. It is what it is. It comes with it. But yeah, there's some aspects of Christianity and religion that was taught that is not necessarily like the facts. It's not necessarily the truth. Some stuff is manipulated information. But anyways, it was about the Trinity and what I thought about heaven and what it is and what are humans and what is this? What was God's plan for humans? Understanding. So mind you, I was actually jumping back into the Bible. I was either listening to a preaching, which I consider secondhand revelation. The preacher is the one who did the work and went into the Bible and got revelation and understanding from God to then speak and teach us something, right? Which we can still learn and apply in our own lives that can help us get on the path to where we need to go and encourage us to do what we need to do. But that's a secondhand revelation. So me myself went into the Bible, started to read some specific things that I had questions about, to gain some information and first-hand revelation from God and what He's telling me. As I jot things down on this poster board in my journal, it opened up the brain and the heart and my spirit to start having some understanding. So my understanding of good and evil, sin, the existing patterns and observation I'm learning through our conversation, through the music, through the programming, through what I see, and conversations, or all that kind of stuff. Also, my idea of money, currency, value, the same thing. On this point right here, I wish this thing is not folded. I don't want y'all to read my whole personal business, but honey, I went ham. This whole thing is covered. It's covered. I shared it with my friends. We had a conversation about it. I'm like, we only talked so much about it because, I'm the person who chose to go on this journey and still currently in this journey to really expand the brain a little bit, expand my heart, my spirit, and talk to myself and talk to my God, creator, to understand this life that we're living. It's very important. This whole thing right here opened up my mind and told me the life that we're living is not what it seems. How we view money and all this stuff is not what it seems. It's very toxic. It's making us sick. It's making us distracted big time. It's making us selfish. We're losing our integrity due to how much we want money. We're losing our integrity and morals, actually. In myself, I attest to it. Okay? Not only that, it's pretty much covering the same thing that I kind of already highlighted. I also did another one. This is more so when I was pacing out my message that I finally solidified after me doing my detox thing. So now after doing this, after being done with the spiritual therapy that I was doing, I have my eyes is clear, and I so much more want to remain in this world, to live out my purpose or many callings, ever-changing callings or whatever that God is calling me to do at any point in time. I want to see how this world's going to play out. We, as humans, exist for a reason. It was not by no accident. To experience this thing that we call life, to learn and be aware of something, and then once we're aware, to help. And still stick it through until God does the big reveal. That's, in layman's terms, that's the best way I can put it. To where I'm literally sitting at work when we don't have nothing to do, or when I don't have nothing to sew because I'm a seamstress. When we don't have nothing to sew, instead of me just talking or being on YouTube, and I was doing some of that too. I was looking at a lot of podcasts and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, I was jotting down These are the papers I literally had, loose leaf papers that I went and just started going ham and just writing out what's really on my heart. I'm like, my brain, the wheels are turning, the critical thinking is thinking. Let's talk about it. So for myself, I'll share this part with y'all. To understand this life that we're living, I just thought to share this. And this might resonate with some of y'all. This may not. I might sound like a person who has a tinfoil on the head. But this is what I'm thinking. Okay? How I can best explain it. Life is a journey to get back to our origins, our awareness, allegiance, and obedience for our Creator. Awareness of ourselves as spiritual beings, living in a temporary expirational body in order to live out our purpose in the physical realm. In this life, we are purposefully facing orchestrated adversities allowed by God to increase our wisdom, resilience, empathy, awareness, spiritual growth, and dependency on God. Okay? In this life, we're going to experience simulations, trials, highs and lows, patterns, and evolution. That's the best way I can explain it. Hopefully I'm not being blasphemous, like, I'm not sure if this is biblically based. I like to say it's so. Am I using the right terminology for it? And by saying, I think this whole thing is a big simulation. Some people are calling it the Matrix or whatever and say, oh, escape the Matrix or whatever. This is nothing to escape. This is an experience that we need to live out and see through. But we're going to experience it. So in this life, we're going to experience a series of things and adversity that's going to test us. So I love how in the Purpose Driven Life book, it says life is a test. When I heard that, my brain just did. It literally did. No, really, life's a test. Life is a test. We need to experience, due to the knowledge that we now have due to sin, that's what it said in the Bible, right? We could do extremely good and do extremely bad. And the extremely good what is good for us is powered by God. That's God's influence on us. That's his intentions for us to experience the good, to want to do good, because it is good, it feels good, it's great. That's what he intended us to experience, right? But since now we have this duality and, have bad and can do bad, the extremely heinous bad, we have the potential, every human being has the potential to do that, right? And, right now it's heavily on the environment and our upbringing that contributes to that, right? But I would like to say it's influenced by the devil, right? To do bad is to focus on things that is outside of what God intended it for us to do, or focus on, or make priority and do, engage in. So life is about, for us who are aware, finally we gain this awareness, right? And understand, hello, this is what life is about. That's what I created you for, right? Now it's up to the job of the aware to help each other fulfill our life journey. We're meant to be in community to help each other gain this awareness and live and see this life through. This temporary life through. Another breakdown that I like to do is what it means to be human. I just wanted to do that. I feel like it's going to help a lot of us see life differently. We humans are spiritual beings. Okay? Though we see each other physically, we're seeing each other physically like being in a capsule. That's the best way I can explain it. Or being in a vehicle. My spirit, in the Bible it says, we have like God's likeness, right? What is his likeness? We're made in God's image. What does that mean? I know it's not this image. I know it's not being a black girl. It's not being a white man. It's not being a Asian girl or whatever. If we're of God's likeness and image, it must be the spirit. It must be the spirit that's probably genderless. Is that reach? I don't know. Because as we say, our Father who art in heaven, with the patriarchy and us having to put a gender to things now on earth, that's the only way we can verbalize things. Because, with creation, procreation, for us to procreate, we need to have a man and a woman and all that, you know what I'm saying? So we say our Father, God as the Godhead, Father, that's the terms that was given, and that's the best way we could explain it and comprehend. So, okay, cool. But yeah, we were created, our spirits, having God's image and likeness, was created and deposited into this vehicle. This flesh is a vehicle in which we can do things in this physical, temporary realm we're placed in right now, meant to experience right now. Okay, so although we get attracted to the face, I love my body, I like how I look, I love everything about myself right now. I'm learning to love myself even more, on this journey of self-love and all that kind of stuff. We find people attractive. Cool. We're attracted to the vehicle. Also, we're attracted to the spirit of someone. There's someone that you could come around, they have such great energy, and we just feel so attracted to them even more beyond the physical because of the attractive spirit. The quality and their character quality is awesome. We want to be around them. But that's a spirit that's within this body, making it move around, making us do things, fulfill things, tasks, and all that kind of stuff. A spirit in a capsule housing in this body. Our body is housing the spirit, pretty much. When it says a body is a temple, I think those two goes in hand. Am I reaching? I don't know. But anyways, I have to dial into all of that because I'm seeing life differently. I'm seeing purpose differently. I'm seeing money differently. Something's contrary to what I learned in the church. Something's contrary to what I learned in the school. What we need to be focusing and making priority. Position and career and earning. We're missing the mark. We're missing the mark. But to just hop on to do a short segue. Not a short segue. It's 1 hour and 8 minutes now. I'm still going. To segue into how I was solidified in this message I wanted to make, but this felt so weird to make it, and still felt weird to even make it today, to even do a live, to ongoing, like to talk how I'm talking right now. I didn't feel brave enough to do a live with it because I'll get so distracted with people who's coming in and commenting, and I'll felt the need to read it real quick and be distracted. I get distracted easily. You already see how I get on a tangent. So I'm learning, and I'm feeling called to speak about these things and host, instead of talking about relationships, goals, and talking about, hey friend, who in a date, and just talk about whatever. I'm talking about this. I feel like a lot of people aren't having enough conversations. There's not enough conversations being had on podcasts and all these forums there's not enough conversations like this. Our critical thinking is like dead. But me going on the health journey is because now I learned that, oh wow, for me to preserve this body that I'm riding in, I need to be eating healthy. I need to instill healthy habits so I can last a little bit longer. So that I can show God that I appreciate the body He gave me. I appreciate this. I appreciate this. So I can live out, I have a clear mental mind, you know, a clean, peaceful spirit is when I do the things that's required to practice the self-discipline, you know, with my health, what I consume, drink, eat, am I sleeping, the self-care, the journaling to process the mental, you know, I need to do my part. That's what the health thing did, you know. I spent a lot doing the juicing and all that stuff. You can see it in my, you know, on my Instagram, all the steps and things that I had to do, and, you know, my testimonial about the whole rating of the program I joined and everything like that. This whole thing took me a long time to where I had, like, it took so much energy out of me and so much self-care and attention to myself because I had to count my calories. I had to drink enough fluids, juices, fruit juices that I was making, and taking time and hours. That's another form of self-care, by the way. But I had enough time because when I was not doing the brunch, when I was not doing going to the club and doing all this X, Y, and Z, I had enough time to think and hear me, myself, my spirit, and God talk. To really process life further and what I need to be doing and what I need to be focusing on. Thoughts, visions, clarity started to come. Okay? Clarity started to come. Generosity, my care and empathy for people started to rise. I don't care about what's going on with me. I don't care if I'm able to afford this apartment, but I'm here. I'm here. God is making me tighten up, you know, clearly do my part, you know, and do the money management. You can live here, you can afford to be here, but just do your money management. You can travel and you can do this stuff, leisure things to, you know, further self-care. You can do these things, but you need to manage your money well. But also, this life is not all about you. It's about giving back and being aware first of my Father, you know, being aware of your Creator. And then also helping others. So be generous. This money, this currency that I'm allowing you, this space that you're in, this job opportunity, this entrepreneurship, you know, income, or not income, but this flow of customers and clients that I'm dealing with now that I didn't deal with before. I have access to it because I'm walking in my purpose. I'm walking in my calling. I want it to be aligned. I want to be in tune with what God is telling me to do. I'm doing it finally. And all of a sudden, I'm now being able to be hella generous now. I'm creating care packages. I felt so annoyed with myself that each time I come to a stop and I see a homeless person, I'm like, oh, I don't carry cash, you know. And then I end up just driving off. Or when I do have cash, like, well, I'm giving him $3. What can I do? It can do something, but it's not doing much. Okay, let's be real. So I felt the need to make care packages. And now I'm doing that. Doing a lot of it. And I've yet to now restack. I got a lot of, this is not it right here, but behind there. I'm making care packages. I felt led to do that. Felt led to be generous. I felt led to now create a sewing program and do it for free for those who need to find work. You know, I've recently joined this place called, this organization called New Friends, New Life. They are helping women who have been sex trafficked and experienced a lot. And now they're looking for work. You know, they clearly want to do something legitimate and safe. So I want to teach them how to sew. by the works of your hands, you can make things. You can make things that are considered necessity. We need clothes, right? So I'm feeling led to focus on things outside of myself, you know, things that matter. People. Be more, show more empathy. There's other things that I was lacking when I was all what self-absorbed, or when I was all like self-centered because of things not going my way or whatever. I'm so focused on me making money and all the things that I have on my list. I forgot about people. I forgot about my family and caring about certain thoughts and having certain conversations, hard conversations, or repairing friendships, repairing relationships with family members, with friends, with acquaintance. Have more empathy when I go into work. Being less sensitive and being less slow to be offended on whatever's said. To really hear people out and understand that we're not going to all talk politically correct, but just hear the person for what they're saying. Or see past the hurt and the name calling and the not offenses, but the insults that might be hurled at you. See past it. The person is hurting. The person is sick. The person is very irritable. They're dehydrated. See past everything. A lot of us don't feel good. A lot of us feel behind. A lot of us are jealous and envious of each other because we feel like this person is better than us because of that money or this whatever value. Can we talk? Can we talk about some real shit? I'm so passionate. Like I'm low key just very tired because I've been up for a while. So my energy might be off, and you might think, oh, why are you saying things, or why are you so passionate about this, girl? Go to sleep. No, I've been like, I've yet, like, it's so much background story and like so many thoughts that I could have been making videos on and just discussing on my, platform, or like on, social media or whatever, or with friends. But it's like, this is a built up information and processing that I have been going through. It's ongoing. So I'm like, no, it's time to talk about it. But I'm very passionate about it. And when I have the attitude, it's more so like, oh wow, a lot of us experiencing heartache and just unnecessary stress almost because of the majority of us co-signing to certain bullshit, co-signing to a life that probably was not intended. I don't know how the best way to say that. And to double back on the simulation part, because I really hope I'm not doing any blasphemy when I talk about anything biblical or whatever, or my understanding of life and what I feel like it is. A good example of why I said things are simulation, or this life that we're living is a simulation. People might want to say Matrix, but whatever. It's because when I was reading the Bible and reading Exodus, which I took a pause on, I'm in Numbers right now. I'm trying to read the Bible in a chronological order. I found the PDF document, online or whatever. But I was reading Exodus, and when I was reading the story of Moses and Pharaoh and all that, it said that God, many instances in the scripture was saying God hardened Pharaoh's heart. In layman's terms, when I say zoom out, I do this movement kind of like I'm zooming out. Generally, God controlled Pharaoh. His reaction towards Moses. It's a test. Moses is being tested. Back and forth, he's appearing before Pharaoh saying, let my people go, let my people go. Pharaoh says, okay. Then he takes back his word and God hardened his heart. Nope. We got our army lined up, ready to slaughter your asses. Literally. In layman's terms, a back and forth test. The Israelites finally, left the hands of Pharaoh, but it's meeting more adversities down the road. What do you call that? Because God is testing our obedience. God is testing our obedience. We're living a life experience testing our obedience or allegiance to God. What else are we talking about? What else are we living for? Zoom out of the life that you're living currently right now. I'm telling you, I'm really encouraging you guys. Make a poster and put down your beliefs and what you think life is currently. Put it down. How you view your parents, how you view your family, friends, whatever. Whatever entity, this so-called system we're talking about, how you view money, all of it. Put it down on a poster. Take your Saturday morning, the day that you're off, and do this. If you need to, order your favorite food. Okay? Not eat a burger, nothing that's gonna make you very sluggish and not have the energy to even do this. I'm telling you, this takes energy. But do whatever to make yourself feel comfortable, because I'm not gonna lie, this does spark anxiety. Thinking this deep, I'm not trying to think aimlessly, just talk like someone with a tinfoil hat. But to think this deep and really dive in and understand yourself, it requires a lot of thought. It requires a lot of energy. But do whatever to kind of give you a little comfort, because I get it, it's gonna stress my anxiety. I'm not gonna lie to you. Even delivering this message strikes anxiety. Having this much people jump in my DMs, and I almost reply to all of them, really, because I care about this topic. I care about connecting with people and discussing these taboos almost. Where was I? To land the plane on the the comment that I left yesterday, because now it's past midnight. It's 12:30. I lashed my eye. To land the plane, because right now I'm like a motorboat without destination. I'm doing just talking. Let's steer the boat. Let's go to the dock. Going back on the AI and everything, that triggered the hell out of me, because it's going back to money and how we view money and this life that we're living, and it has a lot. Money has a lot to do with what our motivation and the reason why we wake up, the reason why we're sick, the reason why we have mental health issues. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Why I say we don't have to worry is because clearly with cryptocurrency and all that stuff, why we don't have to worry. Why I say that is because we need to bypass the values and realize the real value. If the real value is having shelter and eating and drinking food and drinking water and drinking fruit juices that you can make with the food that is here and available for us right now, we're working to live. We're working to, I think I jumbled everything up, because I'm telling you, my brain is going, and I'm losing my thought right now because I'm probably really tired. But then I don't want to go to sleep because I want to be done with this topic right now. Like, I want to be on to something else right now. I want to be on to another topic. Or like, I want to enjoy Easter tomorrow or today. Easter's today. I want to go to sleep. I want to cook. I got things to do. But yeah, we're working to earn this value that we all co-signed on, which is money, crypto money, whatever is money, yeah. To access the real value, which is shelter, clothing, food, and other, hygiene products is considered a necessity. Okay, right? We want to smell good, we want to clean up, all that kind of stuff. So, all these products that can help aid us to live a healthy, clean life. And then now to enjoy life even further in his creation, let's do some leisure things. Let's, go to a festival, concert, blah, 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 trips, whatever. It all costs money. Yeah. Some of it does. Some don't, but a lot does. Okay? So can we not bypass the paper money that we gave value to, which is backed by nothing, and the crypto money backed by nothing? Can we bypass that and jump into the necessities and being producers of the necessities, which we were back then before the Industrial Revolution and the factories? Can we go back to that back then? Can at least those people have something to eat? Some of them did. You know, of course, natural disasters happen. The famine comes, the flood and the drought and the yeah. That happens, yes. It happens. But when the natural disaster, has settled, and like right now, we don't, right now I'm living in Texas, we don't got that much going on. Yes, we do have trail derailings and chemicals being, dumped in the water stream and all that kind of crap, whatever. But, okay, we're in a good climate right now, being, springtime. I think we're still in the spring or heading to the summer. The weather is good for gardening. We used to garden back in the day. Look at the history book. People used their front lawn or the back lawn and had potatoes and oranges and things growing in them. What happened to it? We're relying on technology. Nothing's wrong with technology. It makes certain things easier. But like I said before, when humans being involved, the corruption, the overly being ambitious and probably wanting to feel better than other folks and all that kind of stuff come into play with human beings. And then we start having unfairness. That's when that comes in. And then the lack of care for other human beings as important or as equals start to come into play. And then now people start like a resource, and then we get back into the mumbo jumbo. So what I'm trying to say is this. Let me even go a step further. Can we talk some more? Okay. When we talk about voting and politics, I know it's a very touchy subject. The Democrats here, the Republicans right here. That's all we can think of. We don't care about really the libertarians or like whatever. It's all nonsense. Blue, the red, and the fight. Everyone's gun-ho on whatever side. Honey, it's all noise. Both parties are noise. They do a lot of this when meanwhile they got their own agenda. Mind you, the government is a minority. So why I say that before I even go further into what I was talking about the politics is someone in my comments mentioned, if we don't jump on this crypto wave or the use of AI and all this kind of stuff, we will be left behind. We will be replaced. I'm like, really? Let's jump back into the zoom out. Think in layman's terms. Think generalized right now. So we can understand the big picture. Really? Because I saw the article too. It says 2030, we're going to see a lot of unemployment because the AI is going to, take all the jobs. Really? Humans. You, me. Did we forget that the Creator made us to produce by the works of our hands? Should I get into the scripture? But my phone is right here, so my phone is recording. I'm pretty sure, if we just Google it right now, there's scripture talking about this, right? We were created and we can produce with these hands. God has given us gifts. There's another scripture talking about that. He has given us gifts and desires and the intellect, the knowledge to innovate and create and produce things. Food there is. Medicine, we do it. We can do it. Automotives, you've seen in history where we have done this. Clearly in a lower scale because it's a one person or, little few people minus the robots, right, to produce these things, but it was done. It was able to be done, right? Mind you, now circling back to what I was saying, it was like, oh, yeah, we're going to be left behind. Really? Why are we believing that news? Why are we running and just taking in the information and letting it trigger us to madness? That's not true. Mind you, the government, which is also us, people, humans, but they have their own agenda, yeah. The government, yeah, they're the minorities. The 1%, hence being 1%, they're the minorities. The lawmakers that, we co-signed, to lodge with law and all that kind of stuff, yeah, they're the minorities. We, the majorities, if we can, come together and be community again and stop being individualistic with our mindset and not wanting to hear everyone out and can't disagree to agree and finally come to a common understanding of things, right? And work together, to work together. We're the majority. We can run the shit. We move shit. We run it. We can run this shit. We can make decisions. We can make change if we want to see it. If we can come into agreement, though, that's the thing that we're lacking. We're the majorities. We don't have to lack. We don't have to join everyone in this rat race, another rat race of the crypto world. Remember when the NFT was such a big thing during COVID? Jump on an NFT. You're not doing an NFT, and everyone explaining you a bunch of nonsense. Okay, probably yeah. Probably I'm really ignorant about this crypto stuff, but I'm telling you, when I zoom out and see the big picture, it's nothing different than the currency we're currently on, right? Yeah, they're the minorities, we're the majority. If we come together, we can start making things a little bit more comfortable for ourselves, right? We can start being the change in our communities, right? Going back to what I said about the politics, yeah, we see a pattern in, we see the pattern in politics when the candidates come out and they say, yoo-hoo, on either side, we can help with this. The world is experiencing this problem. We can help you with this. Mind you, it's a gradual change. They're more so going to tell you once they get into office, easier said than done. We're focused on other things. Because mind you, they got their own agendas, right? The things that we actually don't know about to the T. It's chucked up to conspiracy theory because we can't prove much from our small vicinity in the city in which we live in, right? We don't know what's really going on. But when elections comes around, you're gonna hear a lot of empty promises. You're gonna hear a lot of, sensational propagandistic videos to nudge us and spin us around and make us lose our critical thinking, because we're so highly emotional. We lack sleep. Our health is bad. Our mental health is in a hot mess. It's unstable. That's why we're so vulnerable to the BS. We're so easily swayed and so compromised to the roller coaster in which we're living right now. So I don't fault people for not voting when it comes to election day. Remember, the current president that we're currently under, and then, forgiving the student loans, which is, could easily have went. But now we're saying, it's easier said than done. Oh, really? But we were able to grab imaginary funds from thin air and dump it into another country. How amazing! How amazing! How amazing! But we can't forgive student loans. That is having people in a mental bind, financial bind and mental bind. They feel like they can't do nothing because they're focused on paying off debt. Which, mind you, our country said, dun, 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 the president saved the day by signing something that raised the debt ceiling, whatever that means. Imaginary money, imaginary funds, honey, that's what it is. What are we talking about? Okay. So, fast forwarding to now what the main point. Yeah. We don't have to subscribe to this rat race. We don't have to subscribe. We don't have to subscribe. I need to use the restroom. Let me just take a break. We don't have to subscribe to this. We don't. We already got the currency. We got currently. let's just continue. Let's work on our money management. Let's work on our character, because we have a huge character flaw as a collective. Our integrity has shifted. Our morals are swayed every which way. Wherever the money goes, we're at. We need to let our yes be yes, our no's be no's. We need to let our honesty actually be honesty, and our corruption stay over there. We need to stand for something and not fall for everything. We need to work on our character. We need to have more empathy for each other. We need to stop being so offended and sensitive about things. We need to hear each other out. We need to gain understanding. We need to get connected to our creator. I don't know who you guys call God. I don't know. But we need to understand there is one. Okay? And yeah, we need to get connected. Okay? We need something guiding us. We need something that we put our hope and cast our burdens onto. We really do, because we're not that. Okay? We're not that smart. I know we could be scientists, we could be innovators, yeah, but we're not that smart to really govern our lives like that, right? So we need to really be connected to the truth. Okay? We also need to be heavy on community. We need to repair relationships. Okay? I'm not talking about the boyfriend and the girlfriends and all that kind of stuff. No, with our family members. Our families are important. I can't speak for everyone. I don't know where everyone came from or whatever. If it's not your family, because your family's really toxic and they literally messed up your life, that's understandable, right? So then now you're going to kind of have to network, and get yourself out there. And I get it. You're going to be in a vulnerable state, to like put yourself out there and meet other human beings. Yes, it's making you vulnerable, or like you might experience hurt. In this life, we kind of experience pain, disappointments, failed expectations, and we all experience them. But we need to understand all of us are not perfect. We need to build a community. All this, I'm a lone wolf, or what do you call it? I'm an introvert. I stay alone and by myself. All that stuff needs to stop. It's whatever your personality is, your personality. Cool. Some of y'all's personality was formed due to whatever trauma and whatever life experience you lived or are living. But yeah, it's time for us to get connected. It's time for us to repair friendships, relationship with families. I'm not saying we're gonna be all buddy, but we need to be amicable. We need to be understanding, cordial, okay? All this fighting and it's highly sensitive and offended. I'm offended. I'm offended. Let's grow up and see the big picture. Can we see the big picture? We need each other. We need to learn how to come into agreement with things so we can eat, so we can all have shelter, so we can all live a good quality life. And I get it. In this life, we're going to experience, the trials and adversities. And maybe the adversity is very well, the poverty has to exist and all this stuff that exists. Okay, sure, whatever. We're striving to make things better. We're striving to still be obedient to God. We're striving to still live in honesty and integrity. That is the point of living life. So we're striving for those things. We're obviously going to be wanting to do good and wanting to make life easier for other people, or, spreading positivity, X, Y, and Z. That's all that goes in with that. It all connects together. So with that being said, also doubling back into what I was talking about, politics and government and all that stuff. Yeah, we're the majority. Okay. If the government, who are people like us, people as humans, right? If they really want this world to be better, and I'm saying in the US, any country, because honey, it's not only the US, okay? Every country has its dirt, their history in which they were founded upon, okay? How they got their name or whatever. There's colonization that happened, okay? There's land that was stolen. There was wars, death. Instead of us sharing the land, honey, we have to kill for the land. It's a lot of hot mess. Every country has it. There's no perfect country. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. There's no perfect country. A lot of things are corrupt. There's a lot of propaganda. We get it. We got it. Okay? What was I even saying? Sorry, time to go to sleep. There's no perfect country. What was I saying? So I was saying, if the government, any government, but right now I'm talking about the U.S. government, I'm slurring because I'm tired. If they really wanted change and wanted we, the people, all of us, the majority, yeah, to experience a great life, to not really lack resources or access to resources, wouldn't you think, and even to be the better nation, you know how U.S. want to be number one, okay? Wouldn't you think they would want to put in the education system, you know, where we get our programming from? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't they want to teach us how to first eat healthy, okay? Get the proper sleep, do the things and the self-care, and then, you know, instill the mental health and the problem-solving skills, the discipline skills, the de-escalation skills, being slow to anger, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Wouldn't they want to put that into the education for us to learn and you know, implement? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't they want to encourage more innovators? Okay, you know, continue to have the auto shops in the schools. Yeah, you know, have the kids, you know, who are creative. Their minds are oysters. Is that oysters? No, their minds are. It's not. I'm saying the word wrong, or the saying wrong. Wouldn't they want to continue to have the auto shops, the welding, the sewing classes, the even implement money management, finances, savings, even this crypto dipto thing that they want to bring into the thing? Yeah, teach us how to do it and use it. Okay, put it in the curriculum. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you want to, you know, further teach people how to construct and build things? Mm-hmm. Continue to do the plumbing because we need them. Because sometimes when we, you know, especially during that time we had the disaster of the pipe burst and all that. Yeah, they need the plumbers. They need the people to go in and clean things up and refix stuff. Yeah. Wouldn't you want more of those out in our society? You don't want the crime rate to go up. Wouldn't you want to teach everyone a legitimate, basic necessity, essential working trade? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you want to implement that in the school system? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you want to have a lot of biochemists who can create the cures for a lot of the diseases that is attacking us, the high blood pressure and everything that we're talking about, more than other countries? Wouldn't you want to have more scientists and breed more scientists within the school system? Will be more focused. The student body will be the student body will be more focused on innovation and like, you know, important things, and not TikTok and doing dances, brainless dances. We wouldn't be attracted to TikTok. If you program your society to want to do better and be healthier and live smarter, you want to put it in the education system, which is where we got predominantly a lot of our programming. A lot of our ignorance is happening due to what is not being educated. Because, you know, education does start at home, but, you know, for those who don't have active parents, because they're so busy working and making money, working 16-hour days, doing doubles, distracted from raising their kids. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they say education starts at home, but they can barely educate because they're working like a slave to earn money when they weren't trained the management of their money, further making them work really hard and so many hours to not be attentive. And that's why we're having the bull crap that's going on in the school system today, right? It's not, I'm boldly saying this, it's not the guns that are shooting other people. It's the human being, the child, the untrained, the uninformed, the unhealthy, mentally unhealthy child going to the school and doing all that stuff. It's also the child who is coming from that background too, and that mindset and the health level and all that stuff, who are being the bullies to bully the child, to make them want to do something very silly and drastic to then bring the gun to the school. Can we be real and talk some real stuff? Can we talk for real? When we talk about this gun law and and we need to ban this and ban that. No, guys. Anywhere human beings are around, trouble is gonna come. Because it's a lot of us living and we're ignorant to a lot of things. We're unself-aware, we don't have the critical thinking, we're dehydrated, we're malnourished, don't have enough sleep, we're highly irritable. Things are bound to pop off in society. If you want a better society, you educate them. You show them the tools, you show them the problem-solving skills, so we're not running into high crime, high unemployment, and all the stuff that we're talking about. We wouldn't need to be doing crypto, dipto, yeah. We don't need to be competing with China. We don't need to compete with nothing. If you're creating your teaching your society on ways to be self-sufficient or sufficient in our nation, you would think they would have people to be glass makers. They, all these plates and things we're saying that it says made in China, all these things that's being mass produced. You also want to teach our nation, because we don't have to mass produce in that quantity, because guess what? It has an effect on the environment when we do the mass production, actually. We need to be actually teaching against it and be teaching how to keep the items that we purchase longer. The clothes that we wear, we can throw them out when it got a hole in it. How about that? Or when it looks very dingy. That's probably when we need to throw out things. We don't have to quickly discard our clothing. We don't have to. For fashion people, the fashion gurus, the people, the stylists or whatever, or people who love fashion. I love fashion, but I really don't care about clothes like that. I'd rather be in yoga pants and braless in a cute halter top. Okay, I don't care about fashion like that, but for those who do, your clothes are only admired for 30 seconds. When you post it on Instagram, you get the little blip, and then life went. So if you're dressing, I hope you're dressing for yourself and not for the compliments you're gonna receive. Just saying, or these pictures that just boop off someone's mind. We're on to the next thing, right? So we don't have to do the mass production. We don't have to compete with China and other nations who wants to do the mass production. Let them create all the smog and environmental gases and crap that's going on. Let them do that over there. We don't have to join everybody else who want to do the mass production. We don't have to join them. We don't. Again, we, the majority, can create our own reality, I would think. I could only think, right? We can only think. We can only hope at this point. Yeah, so we can't, so pretty much, and that's me saying this, government could do this and that, because, the school system, at least up to past kindergarten, so I guess middle school to high school or whatever, it's government funded, it's public school, the government has a hand in it. If they want to see society do better, you want to program them. We do it through education. So since the current education system is trash right now, I know that now because I was a substitute teacher for a little bit. It was bad. The curriculum is bad. The attitude and integrity that some of the teachers and principals have is bad because they're not receiving enough pay, and it affected how their work ethic. It affected their morals. So since they're feeling bad already, and bad in health, bad in mental health, they only have 30 minutes to eat lunch, so probably they're agitated and everything like that. And plus, not getting receiving the money that they want to receive. They have a bad attitude. This kids see it, it's rubbing off on them. They don't want to learn X, Y, and Z. Their homes are trash. Everything, it's just trash. That's what I experienced when I was a substitute teacher. Don't want to go too much in detail, but yeah. Everything is going a hot mess because we want to hop on another wave. You want to jump onto cryptocurrency when we can barely handle we can barely handle the paper money. Like, it doesn't make no sense. But I say all this to say, we just need to be the change we want to see in the world. I guess in simple, general terms, we just need to be the change we want to see in the world. So you want to see empathy, you need to be empathy. If you want to see I want to encourage for us to have, gain hobbies and let it be things that is more so tied into producing tangible things, necessities. So if it's like gardening, I took up gardening. You can see it on my Instagram. I have a lot of, posts and updates on my little patio garden I'm starting. I sew for a living, so I can teach people how to sew. You can create courses, and I can create another flow of income through that. And also for people who cannot afford it. So charitable, organizations like the ones I'm already working with, I'm gonna teach them that skill for free because I want them to see road. What else? But yeah, I want to encourage that. I want to encourage us to repair friendships, relations, or just how we deal with human beings instead of saying, "Oh, I don't want to deal with people." Let's be about it and help each other because we need each other. I don't care which way you want to twist and turn it. We need each other. We're not meant to live and experience this life alone. We're meant to help each other. Period. Flat out. Flat out. Okay? Because when we help each other, and then, it's not necessarily, okay, in a perfect world, we could do X, Y, and Z. I think, no, we can start it now. Within the family, friends, and then at least neighborhood, we could make an influence there. Okay? With your siblings or whatever, they see you. People are seeing you. If you are a light in the workplace, people can see that. They can identify you easily. If you're a negative force in the workplace, people know who you are. It's clear. People steer clear from you, honey. Choose to be a light. Choose to be positive. Choose to be empathetic. Choose to promote and encourage positive things. That's all we're called to do. Once we've been made aware, like, with this, me having this message and wanting to have this message so bad and wanting to go live, but I chickened out, so I'm doing this pre-recorded thing. But yeah, once I know better, I want to speak better and be better so that we're all influencers. People, depending on what level of influence and energy that you're carrying, people are attracted to you. All we need to do is live it. Live it and be about it. Be the change we want to see in this world, for real. Yeah. Because I want us to get to a place, maybe this is wishful thinking, but I'm like, whatever the news is going to crank out next, about crypto, and if you don't have the crypto, and then you're not going to have currency. If you don't have currency, I guess you can't buy food and all that kind of crap. I'm like, guys, I can bypass that. Just think about it. If we lived in a neighborhood where we don't have to do everything all at once, right? But what I'm trying to fast forward and think is this. Imagine this. If we lived in a neighborhood, not in a world, in a neighborhood where we have one person who grew oranges, one person strawberries, the other person whatever vegetable and whatever fruit, boom, boom, bam. Now this other person, oh wow, this person named Nico, he builds cars. Okay, he loves welding. He went to Lincoln Tech or whatever. He loves welding. He knows how to put cars together. He's experimenting. He's having fun. He created a hobby for himself. This is what he does. Boom. In your neighborhood, you got one person who can do the cars. The next person, oh, he loves shoes. He like how it looks, all this kind of stuff. For special occasions, for streetwear and, you know, playing basketball or doing sports or whatever, different type of shoes. He loves making shoes. Okay, you can be the shoemaker of the neighborhood. Okay, this person over here, she's the therapist. Oh yeah, we need therapy because this life is showing us stuff. It's punching us here and punching us there. Yeah, we need to go to therapy and get help. We got a therapist in our neighborhood. Oh, we got someone who knows how, you know, with the fruits and the veggies that is here on the God's green earth, right? Where medicine is derived of, right? This person could mix this and mix that and create medicine. Boom. We got someone who can do medicine in this neighborhood. For what else can you think of? Med spa. You know, us women or even us men too. We want to do skincare. We want to do whatever. Molly and all this is using the plants or using other things, mixtures or whatever that's already here as a resource for us to mix and concoct together. Boom, they have a med spa. She can make facials. She can make all these other things we can do for med spas or whatever. Body scrubs, you know, all that kind of stuff. Natural products, that'd be nice to use, you know. That's not gonna jack up our health, you know. Wow, this person could produce that. Cool. And so on and so on. Basic necessities and, you know, other luxurious things, you know, whatever. But it's tangible, right? Oh, this person is so close. We get our clothes from this person, or we get our clothes altered by this person. I named so many things, but I'm just saying, wouldn't that be nice if we lived in a neighborhood that we actually knew our neighbors by name and we commune with each other? When you're, you know, let's say if you're a parent and your kids are playing outside, we have another reliable neighbor that you know their character, you know, because, you know, the goal is also to work on our character so we can actually trust each other and want to invite, you know, not feel like there was a freaking threat. You know what I'm saying? We can live in harmony with each other, right? People are checking up on your kids, like, oh, well, you know, I can trust so-and-so to watch my kids while they're playing here and I'm cooking here, I'm doing this and da-da-da-da. Probably doing homeschooling. If the school system is that bad, we can do some homeschooling in this neighborhood. Wouldn't that be an awesome life? You know? Does that life not sound tangible, more tangible than the cryptocurrency that we're about to jump into when we have no clue on how the stocks work already? Wouldn't that sound more feasible than this era we're trying to jump into? Okay. Wouldn't it? Or am I just doing wishful thinking? Okay? So I don't know. I'm encouraging that. I put it on a paper somewhere. I know I did a long spiel. I don't even know if all of you are sticking this long to what I'm saying, because I know my energy is probably like, okay, I'm tired. I'm ready to sleep. But let me wrap this up, you know? I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, should I post this or should I just delete it? I might still release it because this is a raw, uncut thought. I mean, I might edit this a little bit, but it's still raw and uncut. I mean, this is no production. This is out of my apartment. I want to release this thought because I don't hear enough about it. We're just kind of, the conversation that I'm having sometimes with people is just like, we're talking about brainless stuff. It's nothing. I'm not saying that we can't talk about non-deep things. I get it. It takes a lot of energy. It can suck you right out. It's a lot. It's a lot to process. I get it. But this is not being talked enough on the social media. Okay, we're posting a lot of things. We're posting a lot of superficial stuff. We want to feel great about ourselves. All that kind of stuff. That's what we put on the forefront of our social media. We can barely be real with each other. That's the issue that I feel like a lot of us is experiencing. But we blame social media. Not knowing that we are partakers. We, the society, you and me, we are partakers of this movement, of whatever it is. The superficiality that we see online, we are the partakers of it. We do it currently. We edit our photos, we do all these things. Matter of fact, my phone right now, automatically, I think with the updates, it automatically edits my photos to make it kind of picture perfect a little bit. I noticed it. Even in videos sometimes, you know, probably should be seeing more fine lines or whatever, but it's making me look crystal clear. Not really. But at least my photos, I noticed it. But anyways, I guess to land the plane, you know how I was saying, I thought I probably said it in my other take in my video. How, you know, my conversations kind of go like this, and I'm trying to land the plane. I'm gonna land it right now. I want to propose a 3-year challenge, okay? To learn one tangible skill. You know, I don't want to put on this. It's like I'm not trying to say, okay, we're doing this for survival. Like, no. I'm saying this because, for me, this thing for me taking up doing this patio garden I'm about to do is bringing joy. It's therapeutic. I'm setting out time to do something other than work, other than money, other than, you know, whatever to-do list. I'm setting out time to learn a new skill, something that I was not taught, something that I gravitated towards, that could be beneficial for me watching the plant, you know? It's like you take care of something and you see it and watching it grow. It's just something about it that, you know, I don't know, gives me peace. It gives me like, oh wow, if I do consume these and things work out well with how it's growing and me just trusting the process, you know, of learning, right? If the fruits and veggies grow, I can eat this and I know where it came from. I know if I didn't use pesticide in it and all that kind of stuff. I know what's going in my body. That's a cool thing. Me knowing how to sew is very therapeutic. I love the process of pinning and sewing. It's so slow. It's so tedious. It can be tedious when me doing like the lace patchwork and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's therapeutic. Hobbies are great. But also doing something that is not considering, like, not utilizing digital is another therapeutic thing. I think we use our screens too much and it's doing a lot to our eyes, hence me having glasses. I spent years, like my childhood, you know, painting and being artistic on paint and things on my computer, and yeah, I got glasses now. So, yeah, I want to propose doing a 3-year challenge. Pick one skill, let's master it. So in the 3-year span, we probably will pass 10,000 worth of hours. And what happens in 10,000 hours, we can master something. When we master it, guess what? That could be our currency. What we can create and learn, the skills that we learn and end up producing and creating something and producing it, you know, we could clearly sell that tangible thing. We can trade with that tangible thing. Let's say this currency stuff don't work out right. Let's say the US dollar tanks to the ground. No one wants to associate with the US anymore, or whatever the case may be. We can trade amongst ourselves. How about that? I know I'm sounding sarcastic, but I'm like, okay. Let's, in this 3-year challenge, starting now, let's repair relationships, friendship. Let's treat each other better. I know some folks are annoying. I might be annoying to some of y'all. But let's accept it, that people like you and me is here, we're existing. Let's accept each other. Let's learn how to ways to communicate to help inform each other. Certain, you know, ridiculous behaviors that we, you know, give off or whatever. You know, we can put each other in check. So it could be more, you know, like things will be a little bit more livable, you know. We need to accept each other. We need to have grace with each other. Also, let's seek help. Let's seek therapy. Let's seek understanding. Let's tune into self-awareness. Let's go ahead and do the paper stuff, the poster. Let's write out our thoughts. Let's write out what's in our heart and our level of understanding to this point. Let's do it. And let's share it amongst each other that you trust, or people who are on the same wavelength. You can DM me. Let's talk. I can share some of these things that, you know, I might feel like a trustee though. We can share whatever, you know, we write down. We can discuss it with friends even. Okay, it doesn't have to be over social media either. Also, let's seek our creator. I don't know who you call God. I don't know what religion you got. But all I know is we need to understand and come to some type of understanding that there is something that created all of this. The reason why we're breathing, The reason why, we're experiencing what we're experiencing, yeah, there's the creator. There's an ultimate designer, and we need to get connected to it. If not, that's why we're experiencing a lot of mental health issues as well. I'm telling you, it's affecting our mood, it's affecting everything, because our spirit is like discombobulated on the inside. It really is. I really do believe that. Also, in the 3-year challenge starting now, let's live a life of integrity. Okay? Let our words actually mean something. Can we be trusted? Do we trust ourselves? Can we count on ourselves? Can people count on us? Is that a no right now? Let it be a yes later on. Let's work on it. Let's work on ourselves. If we have an ugly attitude and we're very ugly spirited on the inside, we're so envious and jealous, let's fix it. It's okay to admit it. Yes, I've been jealous before. Yes, I've been envious. Yes, I've been very ugly to people. Yes, like I've hurt people with my words. It happens. When we allow life, like failed expectations and all this kind of stuff, disappointment, it can turn us very bitter and rotten on the inside. We need to clean it out. How do we do that? By processing it. How do we do that? By going to therapy. If you can afford it, okay, let's start off with the journaling. When we do the journaling, let's also be connected to our God. Let's find a mentor. That's free. Okay, there's a lot of people who have many life experience who could teach you something. Let's put the phone down a little bit, and when we're in the workplace, let's talk, spark a conversation. Let's meet other people who are different than us, have different experience and life experience, and they learned a lot. Let's talk. Let's talk to older people too. Let's have some older friends who can give us wisdom, us who are young or whatever, and vice versa. And it's not necessarily, okay, the oldest person has the most wisdom or whatever, because some people can be dumb. But let's put the phones down so we can see each other with the eye and not necessarily to see it through each other through a screen. Let's communicate in person. Let's talk. Let's make a connection. Let's understand each other more. Let's be empathetic more. I think it's possible. I really think it's possible. And that's the end of this message. Like, I know it's all over the place, and I'm going to work on, doing this more. It could be about any other topic too. I'm just a little bit drained on this one. But yeah, work on, public speaking and all that, and trying to do this on live, because I'm like, I have to go back and edit this, and this is what now a 2-hour mark. So I'm like, what platform can I even upload this on? I don't know. So yeah, I'm pretty much done, and I hope this resonated with some of y'all. I hope it did. If it didn't, it's totally okay, because I know I wasn't thinking like this before. So yeah, this is very new to me, to be honest. So I'm gonna call it a night. I need to get some sleep. Bye.